Four-time Super Bowl champion, a true GOAT, future Hall of Famer, studio analyst for Fox NFL Sunday, coming to us live from what I'm going to imagine is the Grand in Boston. Is that where you are?
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now, okay? I'm in the club getting tipsy this Wednesday morning. I'm turning up. This is Gronk from,
Yeah.
2012. No stopping me. I'm
That is
crazy.
the lighting that is literally the lighting at the Grand. And I don't believe you if you say any different.
I actually only been to the Grand one time in my life, so I can't really recall what the lighting is there. It's pretty impressive that you even know what the Grand is because it's not like it's been around for, 15, 20 years. They kind of just opened it like recently
Yeah.
within the last 10 years, but it is the number one nightclub in Boston when everyone goes out. That's what they
Weirdly
say they're
enough, the night
doing.
you were there, I was there. I remember it very, very, very well. That's why I
Wait,
said it.
you
I've
were there
also,
the night I was there at the Grand. I was there one time in my life, and you were
I think
there.
so, yeah. I believe so when it opened. Yeah.
No, I wasn't there for the opening.
Oh.
It was like
Hmm.
2 years later, but I know a lot of guys went to the opening.
Yeah. I just feel like you're everywhere, larger than life. I don't know
Yeah.
where you are, but I love it. Hey, I don't know if you've seen this yet, since you're at the Grand and you've been up all night. Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick are finalists for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Not a surprise, but it was released and it's celebratory and newsworthy this morning. If you were in the room making the case for each of these guys, what would you say?
Yeah, actually, I made the case when I did the 1 day contract. I actually went into the Patriots little cinema area where they do their shoots, and uh, I talked about Mr. Kraft being a finalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame and also Coach Belichick. And I'm 100% on board with it. I don't see why both of them wouldn't be in it. Maybe at separate times they would both go in, but I can see both of them being not just finalists, but getting accepted as well. And they both are deservingly so. I mean, RKK, he bought the team back in whatever year it was, 96. 1994, whenever it was. I mean, it was a diminishing team. They wanted to move across the country or wherever they're going to move to, and he wanted to keep the team there in Foxborough, and he made some maneuvers to keep it there, and he was been all in. It's not like it's an owner where he has money and he buys the team and it's just for a financial investment. RKK bought the team because he wanted to be a part of it. He loves the game of football. He wanted to grow the New England Patriots, and he also wanted to grow within the community as well, and it has shown when you're a part of it and you care, that's when the wins come as well. And that's why he has 6 Super Bowl championships under his belt. And RKK definitely, as an owner, deserves to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And then you got Coach Belichick. And it's not even his time with the New England Patriots why he should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's also because the tenure he had in the NFL prior hand. He just doesn't have 6 Super Bowl rings. He has about, I don't know the exact amount, but he has about 9 or 10. And I remember him being at the Super Bowl ring party after we won one of them. He had them all on with the Giants as well, all the rings. I'm like, dude, how do you have 10 rings? I forgot about his tenure when he was with the Giants as the defensive coordinator and was winning Super Bowls then. So Coach Belichick, absolute legend of a coach. He's been in the game for so long. He deserves to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, no doubt about it.
Yeah, surprised that Robert isn't in yet, considering his resume. An absolute slam dunk. Well said by you. Let's move on here, and thank you for that. And that's a nice little celebration for your Patriots, where you were a Patriot in 2025 for like 12 minutes. Gronk spiked your way back into the hearts, and now this team has 10 straight wins, and now they're the odds-on fave to win the AFC. They're the freaking 1 seed. Gronk, isn't that insane?
It is insane, and everyone talks about their schedule not being tough, but I don't care what you say about that because it's just remarkable to go from, I would say the worst team in the NFL last year. If they lost that last game, versus the Bills, they would have had the number 1 pick. So we'll say the worst team in the NFL to the best team in the NFL. That turnaround is just unheard of, and just be able to pull it off. It just shows that Vrabel's that good of a coach. He was that prepared to come in, and he was that ready to come in as well and turn that program well around. It also shows RKK why he's a Pro Football Hall of Famer, why he should be in it, because he's doing anything. He's willing to do anything to turn that program around once it tanked over the last 3 years, and he sure did that, and he did do everything in his will to get it turned around. So it just shows even when, things aren't going well, RKK wants it to, wants it to boom again. But I don't see why the Patriots won't get the number one seed. Yes, there's the Denver Broncos still, but the Denver Broncos have a very tough schedule ahead, going to finish the end of the year. I can just see the Patriots maybe possibly losing one of the games, one of their final four, and they're still going to make it as the number one seed because I think the Broncos will take I think the Broncos have the tiebreaker, but I think they'll lose two games, in the next four going up. So you got to be all in with the Patriots now. They're on a 10-game win streak. They're dominant on all three levels of the on the field and special teams, defense, and offense. And it's just impressive, just overall what they're doing. And you can't say, "Oh, well, they're going to get tested this week." They got to play this team. That's over. They proved themselves now. I'm all in on them. They're the team to beat in the AFC, and it's shown with their record.
And he got the Gronk bump for when you sat down with him. I mean, his game really went to another level after you hung out with him for those 12 seconds that day.
Hey, Kay, put it this way. When I went to the University of Arizona, what was it, October 2nd weekend, and I did the Rocky Gronkstone as a basketball player. I went to the University of Arizona football game. Both teams at Arizona are still undefeated to this day. Arizona, I'm actually disappointed in our Arizona football program because we're now 9-3. So we kind of outplayed ourselves to go to my bowl game that I have December 13th. It was so lined up that we were going to pick the University of Arizona, but now they're going to be picked for a higher tier bowl game. And the basketball team is, I think, ranked number 2 right now as well, and they're undefeated. So when I go to these stadiums, when I go to these organizations, I give them a morale boost.
Yeah, it's a Gronk spike turned into a Gronk bump. I actually believe that might have something to do with this. It's so exciting. And then you have this news about Robert Kraft. It's very weird that he's not in the Hall of Fame. And then I was just thinking right now about Bill, right? So let's go back to that for a second. I can't imagine being Bill watching the success of this Pat squad right now too. That's part of this. And then this morning he wakes up and he finds out, or maybe he found out yesterday, you're a finalist. You could potentially be enshrined. If you're Bill, or if you're the Hall of Fame, there's got to be some hesitancy there to make that happen. I'm looking at the win list right now, right? He's 14 wins away from Shula. I'm not convinced that NFL chapter is over for Bill. Are you?
It's a tough call. It's tough to say because there's so many openings right now, and I believe that Coach Belichick, his mold and his style fits more in the NFL compared to where he's at now in college football. But I can never discount him out that he won't be back in the NFL some way, somehow, but right now, I just don't see where and when and how it fits.
I'm here at MetLife today. Could you see him taking that Giants job? Jaxson taking those hits, young quarterback. Obviously, the defense has a lot of potential. Could you see him being a Giant? That's an opening that's interesting.
Yeah, it is a very interesting opening, but I just don't see that possibility happening right now. I think if Coach Belichick does go to the NFL, I think it's going to be at least another year or two when things settle down more, when he gets more established at the University of North Carolina with whatever happens down there. So I think there's just too much tension out there, of what's going on, as the head coach of UNC. Their season just ended, and I can see him going back to the NFL, not this year. And even though there's openings, I would say it would at least be another year out.
He was here 12 seasons, I think, as an assistant. Might make sense, but I might think there might be a little hesitation to enshrine him, given that I don't know, they don't enshrine active coaches, so he's got to really, really be done for that to happen. And as we all know, retirement isn't a thing. It's not a thing. Speaking of the Giants and Jaxson Dart, when that play happened, I was like, oh, and then I was kind of like, oh, when he said it's not soccer and that's a play that needs to happen. It's part of the game. I'm going to play aggressive. You have said that you would not change the way that you played the game. You've had injuries. It might have taken time off the bat. What would you say to Jaxson Dart?
Yes, I mean, I love Jaxson Dart's heart. I love his passion for the game. But Kay, I was not a quarterback. I was a tight end.
Ooh.
I mean, you got to set the tone at that position. You got to set the tone as a player. When you're a quarterback, it's a whole different style. You got to be available for your team on every given basis, and you can't take those injuries, because the quarterback is so meaningful to an offense and to an organization. So I would say to Jaxson Dart, like I said, I love where his heart is at for the game of football, but he's a young buck right now. He can take those hits. But I'm telling you right now, you do it again, he's going to start feeling it. And when he starts feeling it, he's going to finally learn, hey, I got to go out of bounds. I got to slide. That extra inch isn't worth it. I mean, I can get beat up and then I'm not 100% and then I'm not giving my best effort to the team and then we're not in the best position to win games because I didn't slide and I took that extra hit from a 250-pound linebacker who's designed to absolutely murder me out there whenever he has the chance. So Jaxson Dart, taking easy. I think he's going to learn in the future once those hits start, adding up and you start feeling it. Because when you're 21, 22, 23, you're invincible, you feel like, and you think nothing can take you down. But I'm telling you, it all adds up in the end. And as a quarterback, hey, I'm here to just say, take it easy and slide when you need to.
It feels like he's wired this way. How do you unwire yourself?
You unwire yourself when you start feeling those hits, Kay. I mean, that's kind of when I unwired myself. Yes, when you start, you wake up the next day and you're like, dang, man, I can't really move as good as I was moving yesterday. Well, because I took 10 hits from NFL players throughout the whole entire game. And I even learned, Kay, when I was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, hey, I'm not, super proud about this moment, but I think it's hilarious. Now, I caught a pass 5 yards out from Brady my last year. We were playing in Atlanta in the Mercedes Dome, and there was three guys. I turned around, ran about 5 yards, and there's three Atlanta Falcon defenders in front of me, and they were all about to gang up on me. And I literally, as a ball carrier, as an NFL tight end, I slid. I mean, this was never really highlighted though. Like no one's really brought it up. It wasn't like on next day bloopers. I slid instead of getting tackled and gave myself up about 12 yards down the field. The stadium started booing me right on the spot. And then they noticed, well, it's Gronk that was the ball carrier. The guy's taken so many hits in his career. And then they started laughing. The stadium started laughing after that. And then also on top of it, I rewatched the play. I would have gotten absolutely 0 more yards. So it was the smartest thing for my career at that moment. Instead of taking the hits at 32 years old, I just slid because that's when you kind of start getting I rewired myself to know not to take those hits when it's unnecessary to do so.
But Bill was not telling you when you were a young player, coaching you up on how to not do that? No.
I love that. I love that question, Kate, because I have another great story here. My rookie year, another time in Atlanta, my rookie year, I caught a 5-yard out pass. Linebacker grabbed my legs. I wouldn't go down. Safety came. He absolutely blew me up. I wouldn't go down. Another linebacker came, absolutely lit me up. I went 0 extra yards. The next day on film, Coach Belichick says, I love your toughness. I love your mentality. He goes, but in this case, this is not a case where you want to try to get an extra yard. You're going to damage yourself more. He goes, when it's necessary and you need it to get a first down and you need to get, those extra yards for the team, that's when you fight for it. But in this case, Rob, please go down. You've shown your toughness. We understand where you're at. But when it's like that, don't take those extra hits. It's going to pay in the future. And it's not going to pay off in the future. You're going to feel it in the future. And Coach Belichick was right. And it still was in my mindset, throughout the year. Hey,
well,
go
you didn't
down
listen to him.
I did listen to him a little bit, Kay. When it was truly unnecessary, there was times out there, if you go back, when it was truly unnecessary, I would go down and say, hey, the journey's over. But when I knew there was extra yards to beat, I knew we needed to get the moral of a big hit or a big time play, well, then I would keep it going. But there was times, many times in my career where you might have not noticed it, but I went down on purpose. I mean, you could play into it, and I went down just because I didn't want to take those extra hits.
You have to have like discernment, which comes from experience, coaching, just doing it a lot. He's young, different position, which I think is so fair. Like he's a quarterback. He can't be doing this. But you're saying that Bill, it seems like Bill did help. Bill helped. There's a way that you can have it coached out of you. That unwiring, that protecting yourself for the greater cause, that adding of discernment in these situations where you're not going to get yards and picking the right time. Who is, in your opinion, the coach that would be most beneficial to be able to do that with Jaxson? Like who is a name? Kafka, maybe. Kafka played quarterback, so maybe does he need like a quarterback friendly coach? Does he need like a hard ass like Tomlin? Like who would be best at that for him?
I don't really know, for that situation. I would just say it
Mhm.
kind of takes experience and time, to not take those hits. I mean, you see Josh Allen. Josh Allen's the perfect example because Jaxson Dart kind of plays a little bit like Josh Allen. I'm not going to compare him to Josh Allen because Josh Allen's in his own category and he's
Right.
proven. But Josh
A lot
Allen,
bigger.
he knows when to go down. You see him slide when it's necessary, and he goes out of bounds when it's necessary. But when they really need that first down, when they really need that big play, Josh Allen, goes the extra inch and takes the extra hit. But hey, God forbid, Josh Allen is also way bigger than Jaxson
Way
Dart too.
bigger.
They might be the same height, but Josh Allen has some size to him. But I would say that's the comparison. Josh Allen learned, hey, when it's truly necessary for the team and when it's truly not necessary for the team. And I would just say it takes experience. And for coaching wise, I mean, any coach can kind of coach you on that. It's kind of, pretty obvious when to slide and when not to slide. So someone just needs to be in his ear so he doesn't take the necessary hit when it's unnecessary.
It's well said.